Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Wow. Now make sure you guys check out my website boxingego.com. Just pin up a fresh article regarding this interview. Now May 6th it goes down. You have the two biggest names from Mexico that are currently boxers, and that's Julio Cesar Chavez, son of Mexican legend Chavez Jr, and then also Canelo Alvarez, who has succeeded Floyd Mayweather since he's retired as the biggest earner in the sport currently. You guys see the title of the article. Chavez Sr. says De La Hoya has no voice and no vote. Canelo calls the shots, right? So I pinned up the article. I believe everything has been translated. The link is in the description. The video is embedded in case you want to watch it yourself. However, if you don't speak Spanish, you won't be able to understand it because it is in Spanish. Now, they're promoting the May 6th fight. It was on ESPN Deportes, A Los Golpes. They had De La Hoya in studio. He was the in-studio guest with the host, regular host. And then they had these two, Canelo, or Chavez Jr. and Chavez Sr. on a satellite feed, right? Some very interesting things that were said on this show. They asked Chavez Jr. if he believes he deserved a fight with Canelo Alvarez. Obviously, people think he's messed up at some parts of his career. And initially, he said yes and no. And then the host was kind of like baiting him. Like, what do you mean? Give us an answer. Like, elaborate. And then Chavez Jr. said, yes, I do deserve it because I think Canelo has not faced a fighter like me. The people have been asking for it, like you said, with Golovkin. Maybe his promoter saw a fight with me as a bit easier than Gennady Golovkin. And apart from that, we gave in to the negotiations. That's why this fight is taking place. So according to Chavez Jr., he is the reason this fight is taking place because every single demand that was penciled up or penciled in into the contract, him and his team okayed it to make the fight just to simply get in the ring with Canelo. They're doing it off of pride. Clearly, the Chavez family have money, so it's not necessarily like they're making a crazy amount of money. I mean, they're making good money, but $6 million plus 20% of the pay-per-view or whatever. I mean, that's not the greatest. It's not. They offered Golovkin more than that. They offered him a flat rate of 15, and you could say Golovkin is more deserving in terms of his career. But on a Mexican-American holiday with the name Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Canelo, I think this fight is going to produce. So I don't know that Chavez Jr. is only worth 20%, right? And they were just basically talking about how many demands Canelo had. And the surprising thing to me, you guys got to check this out, is Chavez Sr., he was getting busy. They were drilling Oscar De La Hoya. They brought up Golovkin. They brought up several different issues in this, and it was crazy. But one of the shocking things to me was Chavez Sr., he blames all of the demanding stuff on Canelo himself, not Oscar De La Hoya. Now, in my mind, I always wondered, like the Golovkin fight, for example. At first, I was like, man, you know what? I don't know. I think Oscar De La Hoya is trying to protect his business, his investment, his cash cow. Canelo's clearly the biggest star. David Lemieux just lost to Golovkin. So, you know what I'm saying? If you put Canelo in there with Golovkin, what big star does Golden Boy have? You know what I mean? They have Mauricio Herrera, Lemieux, who had lost his title to Golovkin. You know what I'm saying? So the Triple G fight was dangerous. So I always thought it was De La Hoya protecting his investment and like, oh, it's my cash cow, I'm not making the fight. But according to Chavez Jr., he's saying that it's Canelo. Canelo does what he wants. He's the actual fighter. And even more surprising is Oscar De La Hoya basically confirmed that, right? So there is no real questions anymore, like who's in charge. So it's this you guys got to watch the interview, but it lends new credence and it makes you, because there was a point in time I was like, man, De La Hoya, he's trying to baby Canelo. And then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Oscar De La Hoya admitted on the All Access, I think the build up for the Edeslandi Lara fight, that he did not want Canelo to fight Edeslandi Lara. He literally said that on camera. He said it was too risky, too dangerous, and he didn't personally advise him. He said, no, you don't want to get in there with that Cuban style. You just lost to Mayweather. It's not a good look. And after Erislandy Lara jumped on stage and embarrassed Canelo post Angulo win for Canelo, he felt messed up or he mad or whatever, angered that he would do that. And he was like, F that, make the fight, Oscar. I want to fight this dude. I don't care what you're talking about. So I thought about it and I was like, you know what? If he was able to storm into the Golden Boy offices and demand Erislandy Lara because he felt disrespected and felt Lara was talking too much, then how come he couldn't do that with Golovkin, right? How come he can't just be like, yo, I need Golovkin. These people leaving all this stuff on all these memes and stuff like that on my page and putting Triple G and chickens, make the fight, Oscar, right? So now it's being confirmed by Chavez that it's Canelo doing this. And Oscar even confirms this on ESPN. You guys got to listen to it. So I'm going to read a quote. Chavez Sr. says, "Look, this is where I found out Oscar De La Hoya, with all due respect, he's my friend and I appreciate him. But the truth is, De La Hoya has no voice and no vote. Here, Canelo calls the shots." That's coming from Chavez Sr., right? And then they even asked Oscar about that, right? And he says, just like Chavez said, obviously as a promoter, I have something to do with it, but Canelo decides like every other one of our fighters. They decide, they are in charge. We guide them or we give them advice, but yes, Chavez Sr. is right. Canelo did make the decision on what he wanted to do. And obviously this fight, meaning the Chavez fight, is going to be incredible. Right now, I see Chavez Jr. He's in good shape. He looks good. And obviously my respects to the Chavez father. He is and always will be my idol. And I have a lot of respect for him. But now seeing Chavez Jr., I know that this fight is very personal for all of Mexico. And it's going to be a hard fight for both of them. And this is a fight that Mexico has been waiting for a long time. And that's what Oscar De La Hoya said in response to Chavez Sr. claiming that it's Canelo the one doing this. So it eliminates all the doubts, all the questions people had. So according to Chavez, and it's been substantiated basically by Oscar De La Hoya in this interview, hey, we give our fighters advice and say, hey, you should do this or not. Ultimately, it's your career. You can do whatever you want. So the questions I have, like in the Canelo situation, is he's saying that Chavez talks too much and he feels disrespected, and that's why he wants to fight. That's why he's moving up to 164.5 past the middleweight 160 division, right? But Golovkin hasn't disrespected you. Abel Sanchez hasn't disrespected you. Tom Loeffler, you know what I mean? Abel Sanchez is talking crazy about, oh yeah, Canelo, he just doesn't want to get knocked out. Like, you know what I mean? Golovkin's like, hey, no, give me my belt, and doing all this and hashtag give me my belt, and oh yeah, Carl Froch, Canelo, he's a clown. He's calling you a clown. So how do you pick and choose what disrespect? You know what I mean? So that's kind of weird to me on behalf of Canelo. Demetrius Andre said, Canelo, you's a bitch. Straight up, just like that. He said those exact words. So that's not disrespect. The Charlos haven't disrespected you. You know what I'm saying? And you pick and choose what disrespect you want to address. That's kind of weird to me, right? So read my article. I kind of go into and expound upon some of the ideas and thoughts that I have, but I don't know. It seems like you almost want to root for Chavez Jr. to at least do well, because everything seems to be stacked against him. And Oscar De La Hoya, he was going on saying that this fight is personal. It's personal for the both of them, Canelo and Chavez. And see, they asked him. See, I like ESPN Deportes. They were asking Oscar De La Hoya real life questions that we have in the comment section. Like when I do a YouTube video, it's like the comments that you guys leave, because we know boxing and we know kind of what to ask and stuff like that. It's not like hey Canelo, what's your favorite food, man? Oscar, tell us about. No, like we want to know the real stuff. And they asked him, they said, So what's kind of weird that I don't get, this is what the host was saying. He was like, what I don't really understand is how can you move past middleweight 160 and not fight Golovkin, but you're willing to fight Chavez Jr. at 164.5. And then Oscar De La Hoya, he did a political answer where he didn't even really answer the question. He said, yes, Canelo is going up to 164.5, and a lot of people say, well, why didn't you fight Golovkin, this and that? I always said that Canelo would fight the best in 2017, including Golovkin, but right now we have Chavez Jr. in front of us, and a fight with Chavez is not going to be easy. So it's not even really answering the question. It's not going to be guaranteed. If people think this fight is going to be easy, and if they think, what did I tell you guys in the 7 reasons it's not going to be easy work. Now De La Hoya, the Canelo's promoter, saying the same thing. And if they think they can immediately expect Golovkin in September, that's not the case. This fight is going to be very good, said De La Hoya. So man, it's not looking good for Canelo in terms of, like, you starve this man out. He has to drop down another half pound. He said he could do 165, which was already kind of a stretch based on his past struggles with weight, right? He's already fought at light heavyweight basically and missed that weight. And then now he's going to make 164.5 just to make the fight. You get the lion's share of money. You get to come out second. You get this. He can't have any fighters on the card. You know what I mean? Everything's stacked against him, right? He hasn't been as active as you. He had 1 fight, and he's coming off of a long layoff before that, and a long layoff before that. You know what I mean? He fought Reyes, had a long layoff and legal trouble with Top Rank, and Canelo's been fighting pretty frequently. He fought Amir Khan and Liam Smith, fights where he should easily win and can kind of test things out. So, I mean, I love Chavez Sr., you know what I'm saying? I want to see his son do good for the family name and stuff. And I told you guys on my channel, I'm a big fan of the underdog. I like a good underdog story. So I hope at least Chavez makes it competitive, even if Canelo wins. Because I don't like all this, like, A-side to the max and dictating every little iota of, like, skills pay the bills. You shouldn't have to do, you know what I'm saying, certain things. It should be a point where it stops. And it was crazy, but I give props to ESPN Deportes because a los golpes, they were going in and they were asking him all kinds of stuff. And Oscar De La Hoya, they were like laughing. They were like, oh, Chavez Sr. hit you with a left hook, talking about their debates. And like Chavez Sr. was bringing up good points. So they were, I don't know. De La Hoya didn't really, if you guys look at the interaction and stuff, De La Hoya didn't really rebuttal well some of the things that were said. Like, he didn't really explain why Canelo's moving to 164.5, but the Golovkin fight is not being made. You know what I mean? Or we have to wait for that. And then on top of that, he says if people think they're gonna just go into the fight with Golovkin, he says, and if they think they can immediately expect Golovkin in September, that's not the case. This fight is gonna be very good. And that rubs me the wrong way too, because the reason why we would expect it in September is because of you. Like, Golden Boy keeps saying that, and Canelo, like, oh, we'll fight him in the fall. So it's like, when is the Golovkin fight gonna come? Are you just hoping Danny Jacobs beats him or something? So a lot of stuff going on regarding this fight, but this is the interview right here. And again, you click the link to the website and then you can watch it. And they were just side by side, and I really believe the Chavez family. It doesn't really seem like they have any reason to lie. They say, hey, we respect Oscar. With all due respect, he's my friend, but he's not the one calling the shots. It's Canelo. Like, and see, this is the other thing. The great thing about this particular interview is it's not like they just had Chavez Sr. and Chavez Jr. on this particular week's episode, right? They had Oscar in the studio. So you really have representation from all parties, the Chavez side of things and the Team Canelo side of things, his promoter, right? And Oscar had the opportunity to rebuttal, like, oh, no, you full of shit. I made the decision. Canelo didn't, this and that. And he could clear the air. He was the live studio guest. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you guys click on it, he's the guy that's live in the audience. See, he's live. He's right there. So if they were speaking untruth or untruthful things, then he has the opportunity to clear it up right now. He's live in the studio, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't really do that. And they were asking him all kinds of stuff. They said at one point in this, they said that, oh, we know that Canelo is Golden Boy's leaning on him or something like that, which we all know Canelo's the big cash cow, so they're doing whatever to kind of preserve him because he's the ultimate breadwinner. But yeah, I like these hosts on ESPN. They ask some real good questions. So let me know what you guys think. Link in the description, drop in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.